That's a pretty goddamn big book. Yeah. I think I can handle this, Sennheiser, thank you. HD800s. Now, when people started sending me headphones, I expected at any moment someone to start saying, "Oh, you got to try my 800s. You got to. They're the ones. They're the biggest and the best. Everyone fucking loves them." Yet that PM never came. My channel's 3 years old. I've done almost 100 pairs of headphones. Everything from, $20 Tascams to $1,700 Audis and everything in between, every Sennheiser, all of it. Never once were these offered to me. And the thing is, I know everyone has them. Literally everybody has them. They're not offered to me. And you know why? I figured it out just now. Fear. Fear that would lead to anger. Anger would lead to hate. The hate would lead to suffering. And oh yes, there will be suffering. Right now, these headphones are $1,090, roughly. I've seen them bounce anywhere from $1,300 to, you can get them for under $1,000 used. And they're Sennheisers, I would say top of the line, but the Orpheus exists, and if you don't know what the Orpheus is, have fun spelling that and then looking it up. But these are the end game for many people. And rightfully so. At that cost, the name, the styling, straight out of like, I don't know if it's next gen Star Trek, but certainly Deep Space Nine levels of design going into this. Is that an insult? Yeah, a little bit. Just a little baby bit. Come on, have fun. Have fun with it. Now, if you recall way back to when I did the 600, 650, 700 review, I didn't like the 700s. I didn't like the way they feel. Didn't like the headband. And these don't suffer from that. This isn't a giant clump of bumper car rubber. This is nice. Nice, well built. There's a little notch here so you could rest it on a thing without it damaging your... That's thank you, Sennheiser. It slides here. It says made in Germany right on top. They're extremely light for how big they are, and they are big. And then you get the D. Well, hold on, I'll do this side. You get the big D, which the 700s couldn't pull off the big D enough. So they were sort of like a really weird comfort, not comfort. But these do. If you have a problem with headphones touching your ears, look no further. Well, you could still look further, but this is pretty much guaranteed to fit right over. The only issue I find now is the pads are so big that this bit down here bothers where I shave. Like it's literally touching parts of my face that headphones don't usually go. So you have to break that in. You have to break in your face. HD800s, you have to break in your face. They're open. There's a driver there, in fact. Like there. On the very outside. Raised. But since the pads, it's a little... You think that they're going to be way out there and super far away. But actually they're not. When you put your full head inside of this and half your head ends up inside of here, you're pretty close. You could squeeze like that. You feel it's like that thick. You're pretty close to that driver. So it isn't like you're putting your head on a tent. Or a tent in your head. They're comfortable. I'll just come out and say it. They're comfortable. This material, great. Great. The size, shape of the pit, it's all great. Wonderful. Let's move on. Now, the user who sent me this has them with the 4-pin XLR and the standard quarter quell or inch. And we're going to test with the quarter first. Now, the cable are the same length. Long. But, and you know, I love my cables and I hate my cables. And if you're going to spend $1,000 on a headphone, this is an ideal cable. It's got this big, heavy-duty plug that's very light. Super lightweight aluminum. Giant, thick strain relief into a nice, smooth fabric. And you can see the twist in the wire all the way down. It's quality. It's finally a headphone cable that... The 700 cable was just fucking... I think they folded it, and that's what did it in. Here's a little split strain relief. It goes into standard rubber to these hyper proprietary, what the fuck, Sennheiser. That's their thing. That's their thing. We're making headphones? Quick. Spend weeks engineering brand new adapters that no one else can ever use ever, even though I know people can get these and make their own. Metal and ferrite metal, or a ferrous metal. I don't know how you say it. But there's basically, somewhere in here, there are little neodymium magnets that clip this in. And there's your indicator right there. Is a very, very poorly raised R. And there's a keyway, because of course there's a keyway. And we're going to go, and we're going to find that keyway. It's going to go. And you got a little shove and click. And I know that it's probably magnetic because you do have to yank to get them out. So we're just going to drop it in there. There. Nice and convenient. Convenient, as Rorschach would say. Now, let me tell you the first problem with these headphones. Number one, they're on my head. Number two, I have 4 amps hooked up. Actually, yeah, 4 amps, 3 DACs. Because we have to figure out right now, you and I, how to fix these headphones. Because you get them and they work. You plug them into anything. You get an adapter, plug them into your phone. They're not even that super hard to drive. The problem is they sound different on every single one of these. And if you're going to buy a set, I don't know what I'm reviewing. I could tell you that, oh, the highs are crazy, sometime you're going to die. And you might get them and plug them in, and they're not, because your amp is different. I might tell you that the bass doesn't really come up, and you might get them and bass comes up fine, because your amp is different. These love to fuck with you. And every amp, and even the connection to that amp, will change how they sound. I think that's why there's such a polarizing aspect to these headphones out in the world, where half the people say, oh, wait till you get the 800s, you're going to hate them. And the other half says, wait till you get the 800s, they're going to change your life. So the actual thing should be, wait till you get the HD800s, you're going to be confused. So I'm going to start with the Panda Stack, because it's here, while it's still here. I kind of regret saying I'm going to sell it now, because look at it. Metallica, no. Ice-T, Dick Tracy's 90 mix. Now, pause this for a second. I've already done this. I've done this off camera. I had to prepare for it. And I started with just this. All right, I'll test with, no, I have to test with a solid state, so I added this. And then I'm like, well, then I can't just test with a $2,000, so I guess test with a $200. So I added the Dark Voice, which is coming off the same Emotiva DAC. So the Emotiva DAC is sharing for both of these. And then I plugged it in. So I'm like, well, this is a little bit out of reach for a lot of people. This is $500. And I want to see if the tone changes with another solid state. So I went with the Own, because that's obviously my baby. So that's how I ended up here. And then if I wanted to, I could hook up the Lake People or the Asgard to the outputs in the Own, and then I could have another amp, but I'm not going that far. If anything, I'd hook up an even cheaper DAC amp, which would be probably the Mica Origin or the Audio Engine or something. But for now, killer highs out of the Panda. Killer highs. I mean, I want you to really hear me scream like a little girl. Oh, I have a highs? No, I don't have a highs test. That's my other computer. I don't want to play too loudly because this will just get me blocked. Highs are super present. Now let's switch to the own. We'll go to the other solid state solution. I'll pause that again. Very similar. That's good. Good solid state and good solid state should sound very similar. Obviously more power on this. Wait for that to kick in, hold on. Nope. Highs are definitely stronger on that. And I had the volume pretty much as even as I can get it from doing that a couple times. Alright, so let's switch now. This song is playing and we'll go to tubes. Keep in mind, this is just a 1/4 inch. Ah. Like I could literally breathe a sigh of relief. Because those highs have just calmed the fuck down, 800 highs. Ah. Let's try this now. Now the highs come back. But the highs are not as high as the solid states. But actually the low end on this is not as good as the low end of this. And that makes no sense because the dark voice, when I reviewed it, after all the headphones I had here, was a low end killer. I'll try it on high gain mode. There you go. No, that's worse. Yeah, high is worse. All right. Childish Gambino. So there's low end. And I'm feeling it. Now switch to the Panda. Restart that song. The bass is not there. The bass is happening. I could hear there's supposed to be bass. But the bass is not there. And then the highs come in. It's like, kill me. Please kill me. Now let's go back to the own. Start it over again. The bass is trying. I could hear it trying. It just can't quite sound natural. Let's try this again. A little more reverb in the bass. A little more. Maybe just a little more wonky bass. We are... Ooh, the highs got a little... Hold on. So, HD800s now. Should you buy them? I have no fucking idea. I have no idea. What amp do you got? Well, I'll buy an amp once you get them. Okay. Well, are you going to buy the cheap tube that fixes that, just kill the highs and it's great? Or are you going to buy the expensive tube that doesn't quite kill the highs, but doesn't seem to add much to the low end? Or are you going to go with a solid state solution, which is going to kill you with highs. Kill you with highs, not kill it, kill you with highs. But then just slightly, I'm going to say solid states are pretty much the closest on this. Where the 10 times more expensive tube than this, almost 10 times more expensive, you know, there's a bigger difference here. And then there's a difference between solid state. So, these headphones are hard to review. They're also a little hard to love. Let me get into that. And I just winced. You didn't see me wince, but I winced saying that line. Because they sound good. They sound great. But from all the testing I've done, from all the things I've heard, they're not the pinnacle of headphone. They are not all things. They're just another set of headphones to choose from. And people who put these up like little baby Simba there and hold them over the valley look like idiots. Right? Yes, they're very good headphones. But there are other very good headphones. And you can't just say, oh, obviously these. Because it's not that obvious. And there's going to be other headphones coming up that if you're going to spend the money and you really want something that's consistently good instead of just occasionally different tracks on different amp, then those are coming up. Soundstage. Where's my list? I had that list. Did I lose that list? No, wait, I saw it. I'll do it from memory because I'm awesome. So, fit and finish, excellent. The wire's proprietary, bullshit. But the actual wire, great. Value. If you could afford them, and you've heard them on whatever amplifier you've heard them on, and you like them, and you could repeat that same system, by all means. Let me unplug this while we're doing this talk. Soundstage and imaging. Soundstage is very good. Not exceedingly wide, but that's okay. Because in the higher end stuff, usually they don't go for exceedingly wide soundstage. They want more accurate imaging. And the imaging is very good. I still think the imaging on my 2000Xs, where the actual, you could hear this, versus just out here, and then center and out here. This, where the actual instruments come across. I think my 2000Xs are still better. And that's only from, direct testing against them. So, you could always write that off. Bass. Does it have it? More than you'd expect from an open set of headphones. How's the quality? Totally fucking dependent on amplifier and source material. It's like, how's the bass in the 800s? And it's an enigma. Just like you try to write down what you think the bass comes out, and it just is in windings. Windings is what you write, and it's like, oh, well, that makes perfect sense. The treble. Oh, the treble. It's very high quality treble. It's just too fucking much. And the guy gave me the headphones to review. Arthur, nice guy, gave me the headphones to review. And then he said, but you should really test him with this. So he bought a $2,000 amp to fix his $1,000 headphones. Not to get their full potential out. You didn't buy your supercar and then go to the Autobahn to get your full potential out. You got the Autobahn and then... No, that's not the wrong analogy. No, hold on. Something to do with cars. Something to do with cars. You could write that analogy in the comments. It'll be hysterical. Something to fix it. Something to fix it. All right, you got your supercar, and then you bought the construction company that can repair the roads to fix the potholes, and it cost you a lot more than just the car. So here's my Ferrari. Oh shit, I live in, Brooklyn. All the streets suck. I better fix that with those. Now, mid-range vocals. They're excellent. They really are. They're I want to compare them to the 600s up there. But I think they'll lose. I think these will lose. I think the 600s, for just vocals, I would listen to my 600s more before these. These didn't just blow my mind. I heard them at other shows. I've heard them before. And it's like, oh, 800s, let me try them. And only in Denver did I notice one thing. I went to the Sennheiser booth, which was run by Sennheiser, which had all the Sennheiser amps, and had multiple pairs of 800s. And they had quarter-inch ones, and they had XLR ones. And I noted right there from the same source, 2 different headphones, swap. The XLR sounded better. Just like when I put this on right now. I'll lower the fuck out of that. I have no choice but to stay next to the mic when I breathe in. Old meme for you guys. I don't know what it is about this connection. And I don't know, I only have the 1 amp to test on. I don't have a solid state that's 4-pin. But even on the Sennheiser amps, which were solid state, I did notice a sweetness was added. So this is completely consequential now because I can't verify it with anything else. But if you're going to get 800s, I do think there is a benefit, a legitimate benefit, to the 4-pin. Now, whether you can repeat that or verify it, I don't know. I don't know. Are there measurements? There's always someone who posts the measurements from wherever. Find measurements with this connector versus a 1/4 inch on the same exact amp if you can. Probably going to be some sort of centrance. Because I like them more with the 4-pin, and that doesn't benefit anybody here because I only like them more on a 4-pin plugged into a $2,000 tube amp, which most of you are not going to run out and buy. This review has been awaited. I am awaited. This review has been carried forth to Valhalla. And I don't know if you are going to enjoy it as much as I enjoyed trying to figure it out. Just staring at these going, what am I going to say about that silver screw that doesn't look out of place there? And then these are only worth it to you if you've heard them in the past and you absolutely fell in love immediately. And I didn't. I didn't fall in love. I respect them, what they're trying to do, the style, the sound they're trying to achieve. I understand what they're going for. It's just not for everybody. It just is not for everybody. And the fact that it changes so goddamn much on every piece of equipment I plug it into, my little portable player, everything, really makes these headphones hard to nail down. To give you the review that I come to the conclusion at the end of, and everyone lives happily ever after. They're $1,000. Try them before you buy them. If you can't try them before you buy them, don't worry, because shortly, probably not before this video, but after this video, I'm going to review some stacks. And then you don't have to fucking worry about nothing.